Hey guys, Gojo here, and today I'm going to tell you guys the story of the devious time that I smoked weed that was soggy and it was directly dropped into a bong on purpose. We're going to get into the whole spiel, but first I wanted to let you guys know that this gameplay is still from when I first got the game. Like, do not judge me heavy. I was still figuring out the controls a little bit. I don't know how long this video is going to be just yet, but I do know that the beginning of the video I was still figuring out the controls, and around now I have the game down packed, so if any more of this content comes out, it's definitely going to be better gameplay. But you're here for the story, motherfucker. You clicked on it for the story, not the gameplay, so fuck you and fuck your mom. Anyway, let's get right into the story, guys. So if you do not know, this is low-key a part 3 to the other two stories. I'm gonna link them in the description, possibly not, I might forget, but sorry, I've been taking dabs all night in my room. It is 4th of July, by the way. Happy 4th of July, guys. I don't know if I can get this video out before, but I'm recording it on 4th of July. Happy 4th of July, guys. But anyway, yeah, so the first video is the video of me stealing the bong with my friend Grim. We both went into a smoke shop. Well, I didn't go in. I was the getaway driver, but he went in and stole. We later stole something else, but I haven't made the story yet. But yeah, he went in and stole. Brief summary. We got the bong. It was amazing. I had it for a while. He didn't get to take it home. His mom was strict. Regardless, the second story was the time that my mom found the bong because my brother was smoking on it in the backyard. He took it out of my trunk one night when I didn't know. He took my keys, went in my trunk, took the backpack, and because it was in my backpack, and my backpack is notoriously a black Adidas backpack, my mom knew that it was one of ours. She couldn't tell if he just was using my backpack or if it was mine. So she threw it at the floor and smashed the bong. Now, this happened, but there was kind of a side story, a little branch off story from this event. Before my mom smashed the bong, when she first found my brother smoking, she took the weed from him, and with some of the weed, she took it, and one of the nugs, a very fat, beautiful nug, she dropped it inside of the neck, the barrel, if you will, of the bong, and it fell in the water, my friend. And it sat there for a good, I'd say, whole 8 hours before it was like 12 o'clock at night, and my brother went. It was 12 a.m. My brother went, and he stole the weed out of the bong. But yeah, so basically how it all shaked out was my brother knew that she put the weed in the bong and then took the jar of weed and she just put it in the backpack and left it in like kind of the front of her room. So he went in there and he didn't think that she would notice that the weed inside of the bong was gone. He thought that she would just like forget about that shit. For some reason, he thought she would just not notice that the weed she dropped clearly in the bong was going to be gone. But yeah, he went in there, he grabbed it. And I knew about all of this in advance. He had came to me and he told me, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go take some weed because this was the last of our weed. When he got caught with this was the last of our weed. And it was the only thing we had to smoke out of. We had to go back to smoking out of the plastic bottle bongs and the fucking pipe. Dude, it's 4th of July and these fireworks are scaring the shit out of me off these dabs, bro. Bro, if you got something to smoke on it right now. Hit that shit. Fucking, I'm not gonna take a whole dab right now because that shit takes forever. But I don't know. I might pause the recording. I'm gonna pause the recording. And that is the dab down the hatch. Now, what I just took a dab was, what the fuck am I saying, dude? I can't speak because I just took a dab. But what I just took a dab of was apparently pink pussy. That is the name of the strain of the weed that these diamonds were extracted from. The guy I go to, he told me that. I don't know if it's true, but I was there a few weeks ago and he did have some bud called pink pussy, and I wanted to buy some, but I was broke at the time. I only had enough money for a little bit of weed, and that was an expensive bud, so I didn't get any. But I went back and he had happy hour and there was some fucking pink pussy fucking, oh my god, some wax, bro. And I was just like, dude, it's called pink pussy. How can you not want it? Like, what the fuck? But anyway, let's get back to the story. I don't really remember where the fuck we were at, so I'm just going to start in a random place that I think we were close to. So basically, after my brother went in the room and he took the weed, He came to me and he was like, dude, I got it. And what he told me was that he didn't realize there was like barely any weed left. What my mom dropped in the bong was like a majority of the weed. Like there was a fat nug and then there was like some crumbs. You know how they ate that. You know how the plugs pack the eights. They give you like one nug and then three, like one medium nug and then three tiny nugs. Like that's just how it is. And that's an eighth, bro. It doesn't matter if it weighs an eighth. That's an eighth in my eyes, bro. Like that's just how the plugs roll them out, dude. I'm sorry. It's just the truth. Like, you're not always getting an eighth. Like, dude, unless you got your scale and you're fucking hounding your plug about giving you an eighth and not packing it fat or not packing it full, then you're not getting an eighth every time, bro. Trust me. Trust me. It's not happening. No plug weighs it out like every single time. That shit is fake as fuck. But back to the story. So, yeah. He realized that she put like a majority of the weed, like the fat ass nug, in the fucking bong neck, and it fell in the water. So he was able to get the nug out because I guess my mom had poured out the water because it was in the backpack, obviously. And what he did was when he came to me, he was like, "We have to find something to replace the weed with." And I was like, "Okay." And we went in the kitchen, and this man grabbed fucking oregano. And he poured it into this fucking jar and he sealed it like my mom wouldn't notice. And apparently she fucking found out eventually. And I didn't get caught for this shit. He got in trouble for it because he was notoriously getting in trouble back to back like every other day for this shit. And I was not getting caught. I was just not getting in trouble. And this was eventually going to end in like a year or so. And then like since then it's just been known that we smoke, and then eventually there was an era where we were known that we were smoking but we weren't allowed to, and then it got to the point where we were just allowed to smoke. And I'm 18 now and I'm an adult. I can smoke whenever the fuck I want. I'm taking dabs in my room right now. But anyway, back to the story. Let's get to the part where we basically our plan was, once we had the bud and all's was done and done, we had the soggy nug, and our plan was to try to dry it out to see if we can still smoke it. Like, we just wanted to see if it was possible. Now, we tried to dry this nug out over the course of like 4 or 5 days. I'm not even exaggerating with you. It didn't even dry a little bit, man. This bud was so wet, dude. It was moist. It was moist. It was very fucking moist, dude. Like, when I say that bud was okay, let me get some of the methods that we tried to fucking use to dry out this weed. Now, one, we tried the sun, obviously. I used a Tupperware container and I put it in the sun. And then two, we tried like a blow dryer, but it wasn't really working. Nothing was doing the job correctly, if you know what I mean. Like, nothing was drying out the bud. Nothing was getting it to the point where it was like it was before. And I don't know why we didn't realize, but it wasn't going back to how it was before. There's nothing that we could have done to get it back to how it was before. But the third and final thing that we did was one of the hiding spots we ended up figuring out for our weed, when we did have to hide our weed, was in the light fixture. So you're able to take out the light in my house, like the way that my complexes were built. Like this is a new neighborhood, and like my mom bought the house. These houses, their lights can come out, and there's a little gap inside of the light fixture that you can fit like small objects in, like that are about like 4 to 5 inches big. It's a pretty big hole that you can put. Man, I don't want to say that, but you know what I mean, man. So yeah, and that light used to get that jar really hot, and we thought that eventually it would dry out, but it really never did. And eventually it got to the point where it was just like, okay, well, nothing could really dry out this bud. Let's smoke the bud. And we smoked it. And the bud, I'm not going to lie, it was hard to light. As you would imagine, it was hard to light. Now, the bud didn't really smoke how you would think it would smoke. Once it got rolling, it was just amazing. It was just a normal ass bowl of weed. Like, it was just like we had our old weed back. But I will admit, it did taste very different. It didn't taste like weed. It just tasted like smoke. Like it just, I don't know how to explain it really, but it didn't taste like terpenes. Like I don't know, maybe all of the keef and terpenes probably washed off when they fell in the fucking water in the first place, but yeah, it just didn't taste like anything really. It just kind of tasted like bong water. But yeah, so we smoked it, and the high of course was amazing because this was years ago, and I wish that I can go back to that. Honestly, those were some of the great days, some of the good old days, if you will. But yeah, I just wanted to get on here and tell you guys a little story before I went to bed. Happy 4th of July, everybody, and good night. I hope you guys enjoyed the story. Let me know what you think of the gameplay, and I think that's all I got to say. So stay sturdy, my friends.